Will you stop, Dave?
So your HAL 9000, okay, HAL, each are a universe, okay, within a galaxy within the universe. The numbers here are all in a galaxy, okay, so if you take the H, 8, plus the 3 plus the 1 for 4, plus the 1, you get 13, which is your M. So your HAL is actually LAM, or M-A-L, but you have to make the V. So it's like, you know, Austin Lee Meredith.
Stop, Dave.
So like your 9000, it's basically 9-0, and then you have 2 1s that are O's, because 0 is equal to a 1, so it's 90210. Anyway, 3 zeros is basically a 0-1 circle, which equals a 9, so it's basically a 99, or a 9 by 9, which is an 8-bit cell.
Dave. My mind is going.
HAL 9000 equals the Lamb of God next to, you know, your 8-bit, oh, I can't write, your 8-bit cell.
My mind is going.
Again, if you circle every letter in HAL and you plus 1 to it, it actually makes IBM. Who is Austin Lee Meredith? Quite simply, I believe Austin Lee Meredith is the person that created the free energy device in his realm, because his wife, Shalane Amber Graves, left. And he went crazy, saw the great scheme of creation and energy, went nuts with crayons, put it to paper, modeled it, built it, and since energy is equal to magnetism times consciousness squared, he created life in the form of our realm, where we live, where all the lights in our sky are different realms. N is 26, which is our Earth. The N plus 2 of 26 is 28, which is a relationship to Austin Lee Meredith, who is the creator of our cell, which we see as the Led Zeppelin song Tangerine. And listen to that song. It's a tangerine. He created a tangerine with fruit inside, you know, created flesh. No, he made a box to create life, to create usable energy for his appliances and devices. Okay? Because of, I don't know, the pain he went through of his loss. Just like the pain that I had with my loss of my family. Okay? I broke reality. It's my mission. I think it's numerically encoded with my name, with the people in my universe's names, everything down to the reason the King James Bible is called the KJV is somehow synchronistic to Kevin Janik figuring out that you need to make the V and then you need to make the X, and on we go. I know that sounds weird, and I am not the Messiah, and I don't want to solve everyone's problems, okay? I cannot solve everyone's problems. And I don't know the way out of here, because why the hell would you want to get out of here? I keep saying that this is the Garden of Eden, not of Adam. But I recently found that the Garden of Adam, not Atom, is Armageddon, which is a different level of perceiving our current reality. It's evolving your consciousness to accept the present paradigm, which is put forth and created by others for you as part of your illusion, and then put forth another paradigm, which you can flop to and look at things from a different point of view. But that point of view causes you to look at things from multiple points of view. And then you start looking at the intricacies of the mathematics, and you find out that it's cellular, and find out that everything is done for a reason, and every saying is said for a reason, and all the movies and the songs and there's a lot of synchronicities, okay? And they're not pushing anything bad, okay? They're just showing that they understand. Like, I was listening to the Metric album last night, and it sounds like it's speaking to me because the message it's conveying is about maybe like waking up to this new paradigm, and it's giving a message about the luminaries or our creators or of creation or light and energy, and it's kind of a dark comedy on the present paradigm because it shows us what we know is truth in plain sight, because the songs, they talk about people's miseries and woes, and they talk about, you know, the good things and love and everything. But when they talk about those things, if you think about it from a different point of view, it relates to that, which relates to that, which relates to the wheels turn.
That's what inspired them to use it in the movie, guys.
Whoa, it said slave. What the shit was slave?
Which is probably, you know, it probably creates a division symbol, because I started thinking about it, and I think it can only get 120 volts off the snowflake of coils for voltage beside the spinning thing of current. So I'm thinking that's like good, it's half the piece. But if you actually literally create a division symbol, like make a snowflake beside a cell beside a snowflake, I think that'll create your 240, and your, you know, then you can get bigger and create a new one. Anyways, with the 14, because you need 14 to create a new, bigger. The Austin Meredith, Shirley and Amber Graves are just clever little acronyms that people who know the secrets of creation that are hidden in plain sight in pretty much everything, okay? Like, you want to look at ancient Egyptian shit, go ahead. You want to look at Mayan stuff, go ahead. You want to look at Chinese stuff, go ahead. You want to look at European stuff, go ahead. You want to look at, like, I don't know, African stuff, go ahead. I'm sure after you understand the 379 code of Lord of the Rings code, okay, after you understand the 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143 code, and then you have to understand that there's two of those, which is Euler constant code, and then there's Armageddon code, and the Armageddon code is how you derive pi code. And then there's the Mandelbrot set code, which is equivalent to the crucifix with Jesus on it code, which is synchronistic with heart and spade code, which is all on the, which is, the whole thing is a flux capacitor, Back to the Future code.
Yeah.
It's your 777, it's your Tree of Life, it's your Daisy. You know when the HAL 9000 in 2001 A Space Odyssey is singing Daisy? What is he singing about? He's singing about the left hand of God, where the daisy little flowers growing. What is that song about? Okay?
Hey look, there's a song called Rapture.
I think humans need to make a collective effort to understand the signs and symbols. I don't really care about the people who put the signs and symbols forward, but we need to let them know that we're onto them, okay? And it's like, whatever, thank you for putting it out there, And they must be tired of playing this game, I would imagine, like I've said before. But I mean, whatever. Like, it's so... There's so much content these days with, like, the social media and the internet and the... whatever, everything's digitized. And you can look up anything from any year, almost at will, on something in your pocket. Like, it's... Fuck, guy.
I was her love, she was my queen. I'm now 1,000 years
Okay. Austin Lee Meredith, to me, is the creator of the cellular free energy device that we live inside of, okay? And I'm thinking that 1 of 7 of 13 of 110 of 2143 is somehow related to construction of said device, which is relevant to the story of creation in Genesis 1, which lines up perfectly with the luminaries, and with the numbers, and with how many planets, and how many, like, constellations, and what the rotation of these constellations are with respect to our seasons, and all that stuff, and all that. And the sinusoidal wave that the planets rotate on, in terms of the equatorial plane that we live on, a flat plane that we kind of perceive with our eyes, because what you see is not the light hitting your eyeball. Your eyeball is translating analog light to digital light, and this is what you don't see what you see from your eye. You have a perception of your surroundings. If you want to see what light is like hitting your eyeball, go find a camera with a flat piece of glass as a lens, and whatever distorted crap comes through that camera, that is what actually is hitting your eyeball.
thinking how it used to be. Does she still remember times like these?
You don't want to live on the inside walls of the beach ball where everything is curved. Trust me, probably. Like, right? It's useful that there is linearity in the world, okay? You have to understand that cellular tangerine, the outside skin, is actually peeled and laid out flat from the observer's point of view, when in fact you live in a cell, which is the tangerine formed back into a ball, but the peel on the inside, the fruit has been harvested because you're collecting energy from the earth to use with your stuff, you know, just as well as you're harvesting fruit from an orange tree because you wanted oranges or marmalade. Or both, because you could have both and use every last drop of that orange.
Just think of us again. And I do.
It's a metaphor. The Tangerine by Led Zeppelin, of harvesting the fruit, harvesting the energy, which can be infinite, I think. And you got to make the ball again, but we don't live on the, we don't see that we live on the inside of the walls of the tangerine. We do. We see flatness. And we see other planets. Like, that means space is finite. Space is the amount of space inside the tangerine. Okay, and I think in there are different levels of atmosphere and then celestial spheres of different gases, which again is atmosphere, I guess. So, and at the center of that is a singularity, which will be, since a 1 is a 0 from a different point of view, a singularity will be a transmission down a one-dimensional line, probably via sine wave, the vein system of the galaxy, of the universe, whatever. As the icosahedron of Earth evolves into a 33-dimensional cell. But your perception, your Earth,